Time to record the Velma video. Yay. If you're looking for a raunchy, adult-oriented, hilarious take on a classic cartoon character on HBO Max, then go watch Harley Quinn. But if you're looking for a show that is both boring and unoriginal, look no further than Velma, the latest offering from streaming giant HBO Max. With bland, boring characters, a lack of originality when it comes to its humor, and what could only be described as an interesting story if it was done right, Velma is sure to disappoint any viewer watching the show. Hello, and welcome to Idiot Box. I'm your host JT Griffey, and today we're asking the question, does Velma deserve the hate? Yes, but let me explain. Now, I was going to hold off my review until every episode is out, but as I'm recording this, we're on episode 8, and unless the last two episodes do some impossibly heavy lifting, it's not going to get any better. And before we talk about the bad of the show, I would like to talk about how I think this show came into existence and the non-problems of this show. My personal theory is that this show started out as something wholly original, but was then turned into Velma because that's the only way that Warner Discovery would pick it up. Why do I think that? Well, the show's only connections to Scooby-Doo feel completely and totally shoehorned in. You can tell me that character is Shaggy all day long, but if they don't act like Shaggy, that's not Shaggy. Which brings me to my next point. I don't care about the race swapping, whatsoever. The only time I care about race swapping is whenever it's fundamentally changing the character. Like, would it fundamentally change T'Challa or Steve Rogers if you made them white or black respectively? Yes. T'Challa is an African king from a hidden country, and Steve Rogers was picked to be the poster boy for a very racist 1940s America. But on Velma, the race swapping doesn't change anything about the characters on a fundamental level. On a fundamental level, these aren't the characters we know and love, but that's not due to the race swapping, it's due to bad writing. Speaking of bad writing, let's talk about the jokes. All of the jokes done in the show could be funny, some of them actually are. Sure, I can count them on my hand, but they were still funny. The jokes about white guys were fine until we got our third white joke of the episode. That's beating a dead horse. But it continues to happen so much that it's no longer beating a dead horse. It's waiting for a horse to give birth, taking the fowl, slitting its throat, and then dragging the corpse around like some sick parade float. When they're not beating a dead horse, the jokes lack any wit, class, or cleverness. The best example of this is basically every joke out of Norval's mouth, but especially his first joke, where he keeps repeating the fact that he calls voicemails VMs. That's it. That's the joke. That in fact that he calls voicemails VMs and that he keeps reminding us that he calls it VMs. That's about the caliber of jokes that's in the show, though it does have some good visual background jokes. Then you have the story, which is fine, I guess. We follow Velma as she tries to solve the mystery behind her missing mom and the murdered girls in Coolsville. It's not awful, but it's not good. In all honesty, it feels a little half-baked, but if it had some more time in the oven, it could have been really good. I feel like the twist of the girls' brains being in little tanks and Fred falling in love with them, that was good and it was kind of funny. But I hate the whole Velma's mom leaving them reveal. It felt unnecessary outside of her dad needing to believe her to stop the hallucinations, which felt poorly tacked on as a last minute thing to give the illusion of character growth. Then you have the characters, which, oh fucking boy the characters, which this actually links back to the jokes. They're all horrible people, but not in a fun, it's always sunny type way, but in a horrible modern Family Guy way. I've been trying to figure out why it works in Always Sunny, and I found out why. There's no straight man, and I don't mean that as in a heterosexual male. I mean, there's no one normal in Coolsville to react to the outlandishness of Velma, or anyone else doing weird shit. Everyone in the town is weird and does weird stuff, so there's no baseline for normalness. The only thing that separates Velma from everyone else is Velma thinks she's special. Now let's talk about the people behind this show, mainly Charlie Grandy, who developed, showruns, is an executive producer, and who wrote the first episode. And I blame this man for a majority of the show's problems. Sure, Mandy Kelling is the name plastered everywhere, and is an executive producer, but this man is the one who sets the tone, story, humor, and everything for this show. So while Mandy Kelling deserves some criticism, this man deserves far more of it. Finally, before I end the video, let's end on a positive note. The things I did like about this show. Some of the background gags were funny, like the kid getting his fake arm pulled off at a practical joke booth at school. The joke Daphne makes about her aunt is funny to me because of the way her face is animated, and I like the performances. With the many writing problems this show has, the voice actors, especially the ones playing the main gang, sound like they're trying their best, and I have to reward them for that, because I have a feeling with poor voice performances, this show would have been a lot worse. Well, how did you feel about the show? Did you like it? Did you dislike it? Have you not seen it yet? Do you just not want to see it? Do you just want nothing to do with it? Because I wish I had never watched this show, despite it being Scooby-Doo, and I'm obsessed with everything Scooby-Doo. Well, anyway, if you liked the video, please like and subscribe. It would really help out the channel. I've been trying to write more videos, but I've been facing some major writer's block here recently.